Hello folks, welcome to the Friday forecast and trade recap. Let's get started with the first pair. So that is the Euro US dollar, which is currently ascending. It was kind of trending to the upside at this point. So we were seeing a nice trend and some nice impulse candles out of a descending structure. But then unfortunately we created a huge wick to the upside. So at that point I wasn't looking for any trade and we retraced to the downside and are now stuck between we broke to the upside again, retraced, and are now stuck between the low and the high. So this looks to be now ascending and looks to be ripe for a reversal. So if we do get more of an ascending, more of a established pattern, I will look for a reversal to a downside. Currently this is just not enough of an ascending. I do want to see more of an ascending. Another possibility is that we start to descend. In that case, I would be a bit careful because this can just turn out to be another ascending, like an ascending into a descending signals a range. And so today is Friday. I'm trading for, I think, 6 or 7 more hours. I don't believe any sort of a setup like that will form in the next 6 or 7 hours. The only thing I can think of is maybe we get a nice large impulse up from an ascending, which is known to happen on the euro pairs, and then a break and retest setup like this. That has potential to form, but not really. Again, it would take a lot of candles to form that sort of a setup, but it is possible if we get some large momentum or to the downside, so we can get a break and retest trade to the downside from this ascending structure, and then a large impulse. So let's see what will happen in the next 6 or 7 hours. I'm trading until 5 p.m. London time, or 4 p.m. London time, somewhere around there. And yeah, I'm just being a lot more patient again because I'm seeing none of the setups form. I was looking to buy on this uptrend, but then it just fizzled out and broke and retraced. So that's kind of about it for EU. I'm waiting for a high probability pattern to form. For the euro and Japanese yen, so for this one, I was seeing a trend to the upside, so let's take this back. Right here I was seeing also that nice uptrend from a descending structure, from a corrective descending, but a descending nonetheless. So we got some nice impulses up. And I was looking to get in on a nice trade, especially at this point. But then what happened, we created a huge wick. We broke the high and retraced and started to ascend, broke the low, retraced, broke the low, retraced again, and are now stuck between the low and the high. This has started to range on top of this uptrend. So we have broke the high, retraced, broke the low, retraced, and that usually signals a larger, wider range. To be honest with you, I don't believe any sort of a setup will form till the end of this day, maybe on Monday. But again, we will have a forecast on Monday discussing any potential setups. So if we do get a nice break and retest to the upside, I will take it. Or if we do get a break and retest to the downside, I will also take that trade. Anything else, I'm just not taking it. Maybe a cleaner ascending and then a reversal, but I just don't see it forming. There is no time. And on Monday, I'm being a lot more patient with taking any trades, as you all know. So I don't believe I will be taking any setups even on a Monday, except if it's really, really clean. And the cleanest setup that I trade is the large impulse and then a continuation. So that's kind of the cleanest setup. That is it for the euro and the Japanese yen. Then we switch to the Aussie US dollar, which has been doing nothing from yesterday. It is still stuck between the low and the high. We are still ranging in this area. So a descending going into an ascending. Of course, we do have the liquidity areas below and above the range, like this. And we need to see how the price reacts in these areas once we do break out. So for Friday, I'm just not expecting any sort of setups. There is just no time for any setups to form, so you can write this pair completely off for today, maybe even for a Monday, because Monday price action is usually range bound. So usually on a Monday we just continue with this sort of a range. If we do break out, do look for a large impulse and then a continuation pattern, but do look for a really large push. Just a break and retest is definitely not enough, and a break and retest with 1 or 2 candles just signals that we are going to be stuck in this range for a longer time. So yeah, that's about it for AU. Nothing to say, stuck between the low and the high for a long time now. So we're just going to move on to the Aussie and the Japanese yen, which is looking very, very range bound. There were no potential entries for me personally. We were just looking heavily range bound in this area. I was not looking for any longs or shorts. We were seeing a nice impulse prior, but it fizzled out. We broke the high retraced. So an ascending, we had an ascending here going into a descending, into another ascending, and just ranging all the way. What I'm looking for is just a large impulse to clean this price action to the upside, or a large impulse to clean up the price action to the downside like this. That's the only thing. No reversals. Reversals don't really work out on this pair, so I'm definitely not looking for any reversals. And yeah, I'm just looking for a large impulse in either direction and then a nice continuation trade. So that would be about it for AJ. It's looking heavily range bound. Overall price action also is not looking good. It's looking kind of stuck in this general area, as we mentioned yesterday. So the only thing we can do is just be more patient and take a look at the pound. Now for the pound, so the only setup I'm looking for in this pair, as I'm always talking about, is a large impulse and then a break and retest. So a continuation and then a break and retest trade, or a really, really clean flag. Currently getting no indication. We did see a nice uptrend. Right here we saw a nice uptrend with some nice impulse candles, but unfortunately it did end with double wicks on the top, as far as I see. Yeah, double wicks at the top and a break and a retrace. Oh yeah, a break to the upside and a retrace. So a very, very bad warning sign, and this looks to be now currently ascending in an ascending channel. So I don't see any potential with this one either. For me to get a setup, I would need to see that large impulse to the downside or to the upside. I just don't see this forming for today. There is just not enough time. So I would say wait for Monday, and on Monday I am looking for this maybe overall uptrend to continue and give us a nice break and retest opportunity, or maybe for this to crash and then give us a nice break and retest opportunity further down. Looks like all of the dollar pairs are recovering. Looks like they have overextended the drop and are now recovering. I do believe this pair is still very volatile. Let's check the stop loss size. Yeah, it is still kind of volatile. The stop loss is looking really small. We did see this huge breakdown and then it just completely reversed up. So I believe it did overextend a bit. And we're now seeing a correction. But that all doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the price action. Price action currently is telling me that there is a slowdown in the market. Then we have the New Zealand and the Japanese yen. So for this particular pair, it's looking, so we saw a V reversal and then we saw a range. After that range, we are looking for the price to continue up after this range. So the pattern is V reversal, range, and then continuation up. I am looking for this to continue up. That would be high probability after this sort of a pattern. So let's see if that does happen. Let's see if we do continue trending up. I am then looking for a nice continuation pattern further up. Again, overall price action currently looks stuck in range, especially in this leg. So all of this also looks a bit range bound. We have huge wicks everywhere, lots of wicks, which on the Japanese pairs, when you see loads of wicks, it's a big warning sign. Definitely a warning sign to stay out of any trades or setups. And that's about it. I mean, for this one, I'm just waiting for the price action to clean up. I don't see us getting a setup today. There's just not enough time. Maybe on a Monday, if we get a large impulse up, large impulse down, that's kind of the only thing I'm looking for. So currently just being more patient. This looks the same as the Aussie and the Japanese yen. I was expecting maybe for this uptrend to continue, but it did fizzle out, same as on AJ, and just we got an ascending into a descending into another ascending and are now just ranging around. So that's about it for the forecast. I'll see you guys in the next one, which would be on Monday. Be more patient today. I believe you can just write it off. I don't see any trades happening or any trades forming soon. Well, you can keep an eye on some of the pairs that I mentioned, but most of them are looking pretty range bound and just losing momentum to the upside. So that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next video.